So I started recording a super controversial video today. I want to do one on. So I look really skinny. I don't know. It's the angle. We're trying a different angle here. I'm down on the ground. I don't have on one of my tank tops. I am wearing pants. Or I'm shorts. I just got back from the store because after I started recording this video, the controversial video about how I think, oh God, this is how I have a conversation. This is why I can't do it. I think it has to be edited because it's such a a delicate subject. Or I wait till I got a groove going and I feel more comfortable talking, because I guess that's what happens. So in the middle of the video, maybe this video, I'll start talking about I don't think children are as young as we're making them to be. I don't think these age limits that we're putting on kids. I mean, I think 14-year-olds should be able to get married. I think 14-year-olds should be more. I don't think the problem is that young teenagers their brains aren't developed. I think it's because we're coddling them. They're spoiled. They're big babies, and they aren't experiencing life soon enough, fast enough. So of course they're not growing up, and they're controlling. Oh, it looks like I am talking about the subject now. It looks like they're controlling the world. There was this, I don't know, I heard this in passing, but it does make sense to me. In I don't know, so many hundreds of years ago, men used to decide what the meal was for the day. Then in the 50s, the women of the household started deciding what to eat for the day. But now I'm hearing the decision goes to the children of the house. Kids have way too much power. I see that is like, if that's true or not. It is true. I mean, I can totally see that evident. And is it progressive? Yes, that children have a voice and that they're heard and everything. But it's like our way of living, it's developing faster than our minds and abilities and the innate animalistic properties that we have in us. Like I said in, I don't know, it was it might have been the last video, it can be both. It doesn't have to be black and white. But that's the problem here, is that we think that things have to be black and white. And I think there are circumstances where people who are really young are super mature, which is very, very rare. So that is the place where we've come to now, is because children have been babied so much that they are super immature. So they really don't belong with older people. But it used to be for thousands of years. That's what happened. Why is it now changing all of a sudden? Because children aren't growing up. Now, I was like, this all started with the Colleen Ballinger thing. If you don't know who Colleen Ballinger is, she's an adult on the internet. She's a YouTube celebrity, and she was accused of, I always forget the word. That's why I had to stop recording the video, because I forget, of I know the word so well, but I don't know why it keeps escaping me. Anyway, she's accused of taking advantage of children. And she's not. The children should be responsible for themselves, because these children aren't children. I don't think it has come down to people are saying that you're not an adult until you're 25, because that is when your brain is fully formed. But I just did a simple little Google search, and it turns out that your brain is 90% formed by the time you're 5 years old. And by the time I think you're 12, it's 99% formed. So, and also beyond that, I'm learning and growing and evolving well into my 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. I will be forever maturing, and I've made mistakes in my 40s that were horrendous. But that's what you have to do. That's what the children aren't getting. And I mean, you have to experience really horrible things. Men are going to be really horrible. Men are really horrible. So if you're a female, you're weaker than a man. And oh man, I have to go back. We have to accept these generalizations too, because the majority of the population, we have to do that. There are men and there are women. Sure, there are gray shades in between, but if you're a gray shade in between, you have to agree, you have to know, you have to realize that the majority rules, that black and white is what we need to do. That's how humanity works. There's right and wrong, and it's really hard for people to see any gray shades in between. However, that is my new thing, is that both can be right at the same time. There can be right and wrong, yet there can be gray shades as well at the same time. That's what I'm going with. That's how I'm conducting my life now. So Colleen Ballinger is grooming these children, so she's accused of that. The fact is, she's just a really immature adult, and she just thinks she is and then her friend Corey is even worse. Like, put them together, and I've known people like that. You get them together, and then it's just escalated, because it's just immature foolishness that you go. And then of course they talk with 12, 13, 14, whatever age these too young to make their own decision kids are. It's an excuse. Even when I was growing up, when I was there were 13, 14-year-old girls were having babies, and they were raising themselves. Deadbeat fathers. They were always choosing the men that were the absolute worst. But were they? I don't know. There's this innate thing that women like the bad boys, and another cliche and another black and white issue, but it's 100% true 9 times out of 10. And actually that's a good statistic, because that statistic is the ratio of well, it's an old statistic, so maybe it's different from straight to LGBT, or I guess maybe when that statistic was made, it was just straight or gay, black and white. You know how there's even gray shades in there, but 1 out of every 10 was the statistic years ago. That's probably changed now that everybody's so much more fluid. Where did that come from? Again, this should be an edit. Okay, so there are these we were at young girls. 14-year-old girls in my time, in my day, which not that long ago. I mean, it's kind of long ago. I like to think that it's not that long ago, but it's really long ago. So yes, 14-year-old girls in my lifetime, in my generation, having babies, not even really that much thought of, not that much stigmatized, because they would do it. They would raise it. They would have to be mature. They would have to support their kid, and they would do it. And I don't know why now we're like, why children get to say what their pronouns are. We shouldn't be teaching children that it's okay to choose to that you get what we should be teaching our children is that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. It doesn't matter what anybody else calls you. Let them call you she. Let them call you he. That's not your business. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know here who you are. People are going to be disrespectful. If you're going to shelter yourself from people being disrespectful now, you're in for a big surprise when you're out in the real world, because that's what it is. Men, okay, now we have this the same people who say that men should, they think it's disgusting that 45-year-old men, 35-year-old men are dating, like, I don't know, 20-year-old girls, 24-year-old girls when they're below age 25. And then another one of their arguments is that, why are men so juvenile? Why are they so dumb? So that is the answer. The answer is that men are super immature, and who else are they going to have anything in common with? Of course they have something in common with a below 25-year-old female. Men are dumb. Men play first shooter video games. They want to kill everyone. There's something wrong there. Things aren't going to change until that goes away, and that's not going away for a very, very long time. It's disgusting. The fact that men want to pretend to go around shooting other people, it's disgusting. And those same men will make the argument that it's not the same thing. But your need and your want and your enjoyment of that does say something about what's innately in you. And I think it's disgusting. And I also want to make it clear, I have joined. I'm not condoning that I'm interested in dating younger women. However, another segue. When I was modeling in my 40s and matched up with a 17-year-old girl all the time, this would happen. Do you know why that is? I'm in the best physical shape of my life. She's in the best physical shape of her life, probably. And that's who they match up. That's what goes together. Oh man, I got off topic and then I forgot what I was saying before. We'll get back to it though. Gone. It's all gone. But there's so many different aspects of this. There's so many things that are complicated that I can't just switch to another one, and it will be men being with younger girls will not have the same effect as older women with younger men, because it's a power dynamic thing. So people think that, there are many psychologists say that it will affect a young man who is groomed by a woman, but if the power dynamic is different, there are all, like, as much as females are more mature than men, there are 15-year-old boys that are bigger and more manly than I am at my age of old. Like, there are 15-year-old boys that could take me on, that could beat me up, right? And those are usually the boys that get involved with older women. They're men. Women are attracted to brutal, disgusting men, if they like it or if you're going to admit it or not. There's the bad boy cliche. Did I just mention that? Are we going back to that again? It exists, like, because it's a basic instinct provider thing, and that's what happens. But as long as a power dynamic is, a man is always going to be, well, not always. Again, there are so many gray shades in between, so many different things, but 1 out of 10. times, the man is going to be able to overpower the women. That is why we're living in this fearful world that we live in. But my bad take on all of this, I mean, I am surprised that this doesn't have to go on as long as it does, even though I've forgotten most of the things that I wanted to say and missed them. But I kind of think that I believe that it might be okay for, oh, I do remember now. I went on to a app. What do you call those app things? This is so ADD, ADHD, out of control. But maybe you're here, maybe you're listening. This is real. This is real talking. This isn't scripted. This isn't somebody who can really hold a conversation. I mean, it's somebody who can hold a conversation. It's not when somebody can hold a conversation for one. I guess it's easier to answer questions than to talk off of your head. Anyway, I wanted to see what a 50-year-old, I wanted to see what 50-year-olds who were dating looked like. I wanted to see if it was ridiculous for me not to think that I could date a woman my own age. And when I flipped through the different people, I don't think I could. For one thing, it doesn't seem right. But I have I guess the oldest age that is allowed on there is, I think I do see 20-year-olds, but it might be age 21. I don't know what they let on. Anyway, when I'm flipping, which I have put in my age, I don't know why I'm getting suggestions for 20-year-olds. But when I see the pictures, I'm not interested in them at all, because you can see it's right away. You can see what they're wearing. They're usually hanging off their friends or something, and it's complete immaturity, and so that should weigh itself out. I'm not interested in anyone, but when I was, I will admit, when I was teamed up with 17-year-old girls, every once in a while I would be smitten with them because they were beautiful, mature. Usually model girls are very mature because they have been working a long time. They their own business, so they definitely have more. They've traveled the world sometimes too. They have a maturity to them. So and also they're all dressed up like grown women when I'm hanging around them. So I don't even know. But when I'm looking at the never is there anybody in their 20s even that draws my attention. I'm like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Because I think I said in my Colleen Ballinger video that I am a victim shamer. Of course I am. Not all the time, of course. There are circumstances where there are just really bad men doing really bad things. But women have to be aware, and they have to not put themselves into situations, because there's a power dynamic. Men are always stronger. Men are usually stronger than women. And men are evil. And I think I've mentioned this in other videos too, but this, I mean, it was probably just in passing. This is the video where I should mention it. The hormonal thing where women are all sad and emotional and break down at every certain month of the year. I'm thinking the video game thing is the same thing. I think this is my hypothesis. I've never heard anyone say this before, but I think the men's streak of violence and corruption and gambling and all of the evil things that men want to do, I think it very well could be their chemical imbalance. And there's just this corruption and this I'm the king of the castle, take it all. Women have to be aware of that. Women have to be careful of that, and it's never going to change. Well, I don't know. It could change. No, Humans will destroy themselves before that ever changes. It's not going away. That power dynamic will always be there. We're trying to learn to it. Once upon a time, it complemented itself, where these traits that the most of the population of the females had and the traits that most of the population of the men's had, they just worked together. They complemented. That's what equality is the complement of it working together, and it has to work together. That's what procreation is. That's what it is all about. So I do condone older men and younger women, and older women and younger men, if that's what it be. Youth is sexy, and some of you have commented on videos before that yes, like you're not allowed. Are we not allowed to say that? Like it's obvious to me that you're at your most vibrant peak. Nature is telling. It sounds sick to say it because of society, but nature made 14-year-olds able to procreate, and they're making their most virile, both boys and girls, and probably even more so because of the added hormones and stuff in the milk and stuff. But I mean, thousands of years of humanity that has been happening. As much as we want to grow and be aware and think, the truth is it's not going to change. I mean, I guess that's what laws are for. But what we should be doing is focusing on making our children mature, not sheltering them, making them work for stuff, making them, I mean, that's child labor. Is that child labor? No, children have to... It's so... If you're able to procreate, then it comes with responsibility, right? So the children have to be responsible for themselves. That is the answer, not blaming other people. And men are going to be bad. Like, of course, we have to lock them up. We have to get all of them as much as we can and make laws, I guess, because we can't control them. So funny. It's all men, right? Like, isn't that what the laws are for? Like, would there be problems? How many problems would there be in society if there weren't men? Like, all of the laws were made for men. Like, it pretty much is true. I don't know if women would even be killing anybody. We're different. We are different. So there it is. I support. There is an age limit, though. It's like you have to be. Yeah, it's hard. It's too grayscale to say that it's wrong. I mean, they made laws on ages, but I don't think they should have made laws. I think they should have made teaching. I think we should be educating. I think we should be setting example. Of course, that's the number one easiest way to teach. But you can't escape the fact that if you're old enough to procreate, then men are going to do their thing. Yeah. Men are disgusting. And there's no stopping that. Until it's not going to be fixed until humans totally wipe themselves out. So it's not going anywhere. So the issue isn't blaming and choosing pronouns. The answer is safety and education. So incoherent. I'm sorry. I love you. Thanks for watching.